Good morning and welcome to TMI Socials, where you get to have all of the trending gist, twisters, drama, and a whole lot more on social media. I am Anwoluwa Stevens. Better still call me a social media butterfly. So in the spirit of independence, President Bola Tinubu was trending or is still trending as we speak on X this morning. Now, President Bola Tinubu says he understands the economic hardship Nigerians are facing due to his government reforms. Well, the president pleaded for time and patience, saying the voices of the people are heard. He stated this today during Nigeria's 64th Independence Day anniversary broadcast. And of course, netizens reacted to this. Let's take a look. Okay, if we can have our president's clip right after this, would appreciate it. But this user has this to say. She says, patience is difficult when purchasing power has been divided by 6. Esther speaking right there. Moving over to another reaction, this user is saying that the president acknowledges the rising cost of food and framed it to be a global challenge. I was expecting to hear policies towards mitigating this high cost of living, but he obviously didn't address that. Okay, another reaction still on the story. Let's see what we have. Finally, this user says, will it yield any fruit? Is that right now? This user is asking. Now let's look at what our president said that made all of those users say what they said.
Struggles many of you face in these challenging times. Our administration knows that many of you struggle with rising costs and the search for meaningful employment. I want to assure you that your voices are heard. As your president, I assure you that we are committed to finding sustainable solutions to alleviate the suffering of our citizens. Once again, I plead for your patience.
Away from that, now let's move over to the biggest story happening currently on social media. No other story than VDM versus Bobrisky versus the EFCC. So over the weekend, we saw that VDM, Bobrisky, and the EFCC got an invitation to the House of Representatives to come and add your view as regards the situation that has been ongoing on social media. Well, the blogger Martins, also known as VeryDarkMan, on Monday presented himself before the House of Representatives panel investigating bribery allegations involving the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and of course the Nigerian Correctional Service. Also, officials of the EFCC and the NCoS were presented at the Committees on Financial Crimes and Reformative Institutions commenced investigation into allegations of bribery and corruption leveled against the anti-graft agency and the prison service by the blogger. Well, the beautiful part of the story was when netizens were shocked to their marrow when we saw VeryDarkMan storming the House of Representatives in the traditional Benin attire. He even went spiritual yesterday. Let's take a look.
Now I will tell you people to actually do the right thing.
Seems to me like 1 week, 1 trouble on the social media space. How did netizens take this? Let's have our reactions on this story. So our first reaction would be from this user, and he has this to say. Okay, nothing we no go see. This guy is the biggest clout chaser in Nigeria. I mean, what's all this? What is the outfit for? Another reaction real quickly, let us see. Mr. Brown says, VeryDarkMan has accomplished something unprecedented in Nigeria. His name will eternally remain in history. History has been made indeed. One more reaction. One more take on this from this user, Village Parrot, and he says, and I quote, in a country grappling with extreme poverty, famine, and grave insecurity, the Nigerian House of Representatives thinks Bobrisky and VDM drama are the important issues to address. When I said this is a distraction, some idiots came crying in my mentions. Now we all can see. Okay, so ever heard of social media removal? Now, this particular word has been trending. Remember, during the course of this drama between VDM and Bobrisky, the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, came out to say some of the officers involved in all of this have been removed, sort of, has been suspended was the right word. So just yesterday, during the brouhaha that happened at the House of Representatives, the Deputy Controller of the Nigerian Correctional Service, Michael Anuga, has dispelled the media reports of his suspension from the service. Well, Anuga is the officer in charge of Medium Security Custodial Center, Kirikiri, Lagos State, where crossdresser Idris Okuneye, popularly known as Bobrisky, served his term. In a video that went viral yesterday, he says, and I quote, "We were never suspended, oh. It is social media suspension. I did not get any letter at all." Let's listen to him speak.
I want to ask you something, sir. Are you under suspension?
No paper was given to me to that effect.
Are you under suspension?
Yes. There was a press release by the National Day and News that I and my colleague, Mom, and some others had been suspended.
Were you given reasons for your suspension?
No reason was given.
No reason. So they just have you a letter and tell you to go.
They didn't have me a letter, sir.
Are you on suspension?
So right now in Nigeria, we have suspension and social media suspension. Let's look at reactions on the story. Our first user has this to say. Here's what he had to say. So this user says, VeryDarkMan pushed a very hot button that might change a lot of abnormalities in Nigeria. Social media suspension. Now imagine what is happening behind closed door. Behind closed doors, that is it. Now another take, another reaction on this story. Let's have another feel of what you are saying. Ralph Sami said, so there is real life and social media reality. Wow. Nigeria at 64. Finally, on this particular one would be from this user, Big Baby Jane, and she says, but in what world did they expect to suspend the whole controller of prison for an unverified controversial? But later on yesterday, we saw a press release from the Nigerian Correctional Service coming out to say what that officer said is not true. Yes, indeed, all of the officers that were mentioned earlier got suspended. Now, this is for clarity. Away from that, the EFCC were not left out in the drama at all, as the EFCC has declared that the money laundering charges filed against Idris Okuneye, also known as Bobrisky, were dropped lawfully in compliance with the Administration Criminal Justice Act. Well, a prosecutor with the commission disclosed this to a joint committee of the House of Representatives investigating allegations of corruption against some officers of the EFCC and the Nigerian Correctional Service on the case. Now, this press release was on X, on the official page of the EFCC yesterday. How did social media users take this? Let's have a feel of what you have been saying. Kazim is saying, unconvincing long essay. Did Idris Okuneye offer some of your officials money or not? Why not why should the House of Representative Committee be the one to help you investigate your men? Are they the ones who helped the NCoS took the first step by suspending the suspect among their men? Plenty of questions there. One more reaction on the story from Chris Ejiofor. Wow, getting interesting. I didn't read any press release about when Bobrisky's charge was dropped officially. I only read about that of Cubana chief priest inside Davido's wedding hall. I'll go back and do my research. Well, on the final note, final story for you for today is a trending video from our former president Olusegun Obasanjo, digging it down just the way you want it. Let's take At 87, this is a lot. Let's have one reaction from social media responders. This story, I mean, this is a perfect way for you to celebrate independence. Now, Black Period is saying it's obvious former President Trump passed. That's the currency. Anyway, that's our beat today on TMI Socials. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll do this again pretty soon. Happy Independence Day, Nigeria.